when this name is spoken to you may be vile, insane, sadistic, or murder? How about feelings? What emotions are stirred? Resentment, anger, disgust, or hatred? As true as these things are, and to as much pain and sadness he has caused to our world, we can take these horrendous acts and turn them into a positive outcome. According to the history place, Hitler named Chancellor, last updated in 1996, reports that Adolf Hitler became Chancellor of Germany on January 30th, 1933. He was sworn into office with this oath: "I will employ my strength for the welfare of the German people, protect the Constitution and laws for the German people, consciously discharge the duties imposed on me, and conduct my affairs of office impartially and with justice to everyone." Within only a few weeks of this oath, he became the absolute dictator of Germany. Adolf Hitler set into motion a chain of events resulting in the Second World War. He was responsible for the deaths of nearly 50 million humans through that war and through deliberate extermination. Adolf Hitler was a public speaker who was able to persuade the minds of hundreds of thousands of ordinary people and make them his followers. Today, we will inform you why we as a team chose Adolf Hitler. We will discuss his speaking delivery tactics, and lastly, explain how he inspired us. I'm going to start off by explaining to you why Adolf Hitler was chosen. Adolf Hitler persuaded the minds of hundreds of thousands of people by personalizing his speeches. As a speaker, he was amongst one of the best. Charles Freeman, author of The Rise of the Nazis, quotes, "What was suddenly holding these people who, overwhelmed by inflation, were engaged in a struggle to keep themselves within the line of decency. The hubbub and the mud clattering had stopped, and they were drinking in every word. Only a few yards away was a young woman, her eyes fastened on the speaker. Transfixed as though in some devotional ecstasy, she had ceased to be herself and was completely under the spell of Hitler's despotic faith in Germany's future greatness. Hitler was able to earn the trust of his people by the way he spoke. He was known for giving off an ecstasy-like emotion that mesmerized his audience." Now we will go on to discuss his speaking delivery tactics.
There's many methods that Hitler used to captivate his crowd. I'm going to run through a few of them. One of the first one is that he was really good at relating to his audience. He was able to basically get into their minds and see how they saw, and say things that they could really relate to and knew about. Another tactic that he used was that he proposed questions that would get the audience to yell things back, like in unison together, to bring them together to feel powerful as he was feeling. He also used a lot of words like you and us to kind of bring everyone together. Another thing that he did a lot of is he played on emotions and hatred. At the time, Germany was in a slump. It had inflation, there was a lot of unemployment. He used that, and he used their emotions, the hatred, and envy through his speaking skills to grasp them, to get a hold of them. One thing that he was really good at is hand gestures. He did a lot of hand gestures. A lot of things he did was he'd hit his chest really hard, or he'd throw his hands in the air. He did this, like when he threw his hands in the air, it would be, or when he was flexing his arms, it would be like when he said strength or something, to show those words in a physical way. He was really good at projecting his voice. And another thing he did was he did dramatic pauses. If you ever watch any of his speeches, he did a lot of pausing. And he did this to let them think about what he just said, to kind of understand what he just said, as well as kind of building a suspense as of, what's he going to say next? Why is he pausing? What's going on? Another thing that he did, he arrived late a lot. He did this to build anticipation among the crowd. And when he did arrive, he would come with his army, his personal army, with like 10 in front of him and 10 behind him. He would make his entrance that way. And that would get the crowd going when he did that. And actually, if you saw him speak, he first started speaking, when he first started, it was kind of nervously and really fast. And slowly he would get into the mood, and his voice would be more projected, and he'd become extremely more passionate throughout the speech. these are a few hand gestures that he used. He always was really into his speech and real physical. It was said that he would stand before a mirror for hours practicing his different movements before a speech. And by Susan Campbell Barlini, in her book Hitler's Youth, Growing Up Hitler's Shadow, she wrote, Hitler understood that a leader must reach the people personally. And another thing that he knew is that the radio was a powerful political tool because it brought his voice into the homes of ordinary people, making them feel connected. Barletti also reported that he was a very exciting speaker and that his voice really captivated his listeners and seemed to know the right notes, the right words, the right phrases, the right emotions that would get the audience going. Gelby Stewart, who is the author of Hitler's Reich, informed us that Hitler was a very shy and awkward being, but he was able to transform into this amazingly powerful speaker. He would hold the audience spellbound. Hitler first became aware of his speaking gift when he was taking classes for the military at the University of Munich. What he would do is, he would speak during a class, he would oppose what someone would say, like the professor or his fellow students. And he noticed how the room, was in awe of him. And he loved that powerful feeling. That's when he first noticed it. During his speeches, they're very highly emotional. His voice would range from whispers to high-pitched screaming, to a thunder baritone. He would clench and unclench his fists throughout the speeches. Another thing is that he would bounce on the balls of his feet as well. He did a lot of movement. These are all skills that we could learn from, that we could take from him. If we do speeches in the future, we could practice, in front of the mirror and look at our hand gestures and the way that we move and the way that we talk. We could try to personalize with our audience. That was another thing that he was very great at.